Alright, we've all seen this play 1,000 times by now, so let's talk about it. We're not going to get too far into the was this or was this not a touchdown. I think we beat that over the head. It was a touchdown. He is still in bounds. He has not touched out of bounds yet, and the ball touches the inside of the pylon. By rule, he is in bounds, touching the pylon, it's a touchdown. So I don't want to get too far into that because, like I said, we're not here to talk about, he missed it, he didn't miss it, all that. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to do mechanics, what they missed, what they could have done. That's why we do these videos. We don't want to just show you the video and say, hey, they missed it, let's move on. We want to get into why it was missed and what can be done to prevent calls like this, incorrect calls like this in the future. So let's look at pre-snap. Before the ball is even snapped, the referee should be a little bit wider, maybe come out to about right here so you can get a better angle at that opposite tackle. Just a little bit wider, not too much wider. Just a little straight line there, so you work yourself out 3/4 of the way wider on that. Back judge, you're too far over to the side. We say you can shade over to the strong side or to the side the offense is on, but when we say shade, we mean just a step or two. You want to still be able to pretty much be able to reach out and touch this goalpost right here. So, you want to stay in the middle of the field as much as possible because we have the third. He's got that third. Back judge got the middle third. Field judge over here has a deep third. So we need to be in the middle. The more you get to one side or the other, you close off your peripheral vision to this side. So you want to stay in the middle, keep that peripheral vision as wide as you can. Everyone else is pretty good. So at the snap, you see the headline judge moves to the goal line. Good. That is correct mechanics. Back judge. There's no reason to move all the way over here. We just stay in the middle. If you need to come no further than the hash, you can. If you're going to have, that's more if there's going to be a pass. You see there's going to be a pass on the inline. Your inline's a threat. Then you would move over if you can. Otherwise, there's no reason to follow the play like that. And even then, we don't want to go any further than the hash. You can see when the play ends, we're way outside the hash there. Alright, so the line judge, we should be on the goal line right now. At least your heels on the white line. I like to have my toes on the line. Just to me, the deeper I am, the better. All these people behind you, we need to clear them out. Before the snap, take a peek behind you. If you have people here behind you, you need to ask them to move. Because you need to have this whole area for this specific play. So they need to get out of the way. Ask them politely to move. If they won't move, well, then we can get game management involved. But they need to give you the space to get the goal line extended. So right now we should at least be heels on the goal, heels on the white, or toes on, at least heels on the white. I would put my toes on the white. And now you see there's probably going to be a play. I mean, yeah, you got a wide open guy. Well, no, you're not wide open. You have a slightly open guy. But it's probably going to be a play because your quarterback's got all this green space. So we need to be backing up, straight out. Not this way, not upfield, not downfield. Straight out is the only direction we should move. Not giving up that goal line. And you see we're moving upfield, giving up the goal line. We're at the 1. We cannot accurately make an assessment of whether this ball is going to break the plane of the goal line. So when the ball threatens the goal line and the pylon, we're at the 1 looking at an angle, which is not where we want to be. Field judge can't help because he can't determine if he's out of bounds. Bat just can't help. Same reason. Can't determine he's out of bounds. They may can help if the ball is inside the pylon, but they don't know. They can't help as far as ball inside the pylon in relation to when he's out of bounds. So it's all on the line judge. Line judge is the only one here who can make this call. And we're just not in the correct position to do it. We harped on this all during the camps. We spent an enormous amount of time on these specific plays in the camps, in the field work. So, but we'll go over on video again, just to reiterate. Should be on the goal line, heels at least on the white, possibly even the toes. And when this goal line is threatened, our only move is straight back, I should say. Goal line extended. We never, under any circumstances, give up that goal line. And just to silence any distractors who say his hand was out of bounds before the ball hit the pylon. Let's see, the pylon is moved. There's still space between the hand and the ground. So, all right, 6.5 minutes on that play. Let's move on to a play that's actually, to me, is a little more egregious of a miss than that one, because this one is a miss in rules application, and this whole thing just looks bad. This is the play immediately preceding the play we just saw. So we got a flag. We saw a bunch of players coming in and out. You see, there's fourth quarter, 15 seconds left. Waves the flag off. Maybe there's some miscommunication on the radios. Now we're going to come back and talk. Another deep come in to talk. So at this point, if we have an illegal substitution, as long as it be in the call, the whole thing should take 15 seconds. And most of that is getting the option from the coach. So the clock is running. We have a foul on the defense, illegal substitution. This is a quick penalty assessment. We should know this. 5 yards, or half the distance in this case. And we're under 2 minutes left in the half. Clock is running. Clock stopped due to a penalty. The offended coach here in the offense, they have the option to start this on the snap. That's rule 347. Brand new, a couple of years ago. This should not take an entire crew discussion. This is 15 seconds. Most of that being getting the option from the coach. Now, here's the worst part about all of this. Mark it off, and now we're going to wind the clock. I don't know for sure because I wasn't there, but I do not think we asked the coach for his option. I only say that because I never see the wing go over there and ask. So unless the coach is screaming from the sideline that he wants to start it on the snap, again, just playing it, I don't see it. I can't imagine the coach in this situation will want to start it from the snap. I mean, I don't want to get inside the head of a coach. I don't want to pretend like I'm a coach. But I just can't imagine where he would want to start this on the snap. I mean, start this on the ready. I mean, I think common sense and everything says you start this on the snap if you have the option. But it doesn't look like he was ever asked for that option. So, to me, like I said, this is the more egregious error than the previous play because this is a rules misapplication. There's 7 officials on the field. One of them should have got this right. And we took entirely too long. This is a 1 and 47-second clip for what should have only taken about 15 seconds. So you couple this with the previous play and the whole crew now, I mean, everything's just kind of come into question because it took 1.5 minutes to figure out an easy application, and then we didn't even get it right. So it's just bad optics. We have to do better, especially in a big game like this. This is a region game. I think both these teams are top 10. I'm not sure, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's a region game. All these games matter. Wins and losses matter. We have to be better than this. So, all right, enough of that. Okay, this play, I can't remember if this is either the second overtime, trying to send it to the third, or if this is in the regulation to send it to overtime. But either way, this team, they're kicking to tie it. And let's watch right here, action on the center. So you see he's going to contact the center, go right over the center, contact the center. So the umpire going to do a good job flagging that for roughing the snapper. I can call him snapper at this point. So you see the contact there. Remember, he has protection. So they flagged it, and then I believe they moved it closer, and team went for 2 and won the game. So gutsy call there. I believe it is the right one. All right, let's talk a little bit about targeting these next couple of plays. The question here becomes, and we hear it a lot, what do we do when the running back, runner, ball carrier lowers their head? Can you have targeting? So the basic philosophy on the defender is it is up to the defender to avoid the targeting contact. And that's usually reserved for plays over the middle, DB coming in on right wide receivers coming down. Obviously, the head is moving down vertically. In that situation, the onus is on the defender to adjust his hit to avoid the contact on the receiver there. When you involve a ball carrier running, it changes a little bit. So it depends on why the runner is lowering his head. If he's lowering his helmet to deliver a hit, like in this instance, then you really can't fault the defender too much. We give a little more leeway on targeting. If he is lowering his head to protect himself, then you still want the defender to adjust it so he's not the one delivering head-to-head contact. But in this situation, to me, it looks like the runner is lowering his head to deliver a hit. So I would give a lot more leeway on the defender here, because you can't really blame him when the ball carrier is lowering his head like that. This flag was waved off, I think, and I think waving off is the correct call. So then the question becomes: would you flag the ball carrier for targeting on this, since they are delivering the blow? I still think you give a lot more leeway. There are instances where you would flag a ball carrier for targeting. I don't think this is one of those instances, though. Here's an example. One example we just talked about. Now, while the receiver's he's not coming down vertically, he's still adjusting and turning. And you have a defender who comes in and initiates contact right there with the crown of the helmet and pops him right in the face mask. This is definitely a targeting. If they're going to come in with that and lead with the crown of the helmet like that, we got to get them for targeting. Because that's, even if they don't get him in the head, if you're coming in and initiate contact with the crown of your helmet, you at least have spearing. So, call here should have been targeting. All right, let's look at 2 goal line plays, one in touchback, one in safety. So first of all, we'll look at, we are snapping from inside the 40, so we should have deeps on the goal line, which we do. Okay, that's the field judge. All right, so field judge on the field. Good job there. You got two receivers and a crew of 6. We're just going to be widest, so the wider on our side. If this were a crew of 7, we would split them and then pick one as wherever the ball is going. So if this were crew of 7, let's just talk about crew of 7 for a minute since we're coming up on playoffs. If this were a crew of 7, your back judge would be on the goal line splitting these 2 returners. Once he recognizes that the ball is coming to this returner, he would then turn his back and key off of this returner. So the onus then needs to be on one of these other 2 deeps to watch this returner in case he gives a fair catch signal. Because we have to have eyes on both, because either one of them can give a fair catch whether they're receiving it or not. So the back judge turned and gave his attention to this returner. The side judge or field judge can be whoever. This is the field judge. Probably the field judge right here would then have to key on this returner to watch for a fair catch. Crew of 6, field judge to key off the wider one and just adjust as you have to. But since we start on the goal line, we need to stay on the goal line. Crew of 6, crew of 7, doesn't matter. Start on the goal line, stay on the goal line for this exact reason. Now, they ruled a touchback on this play. Touchback is not the right call. So you're going to have first touching. He's going to touch it right there, the 3 or the 4. Looks like the 3. The ball never breaks the plane of the goal line. So since the ball never breaks the goal line, then it's not a touchback. It doesn't matter if he's in the end zone and he's touching it. The ball never breaks the plane of the goal line. So they have options. They can take first touching at the 3, or they can take the ball right there at the 1. Probably going to take the 3. But there's no scenario where this is a touchback. Alright, this play involves a safety, so we're snapping outside the 5. So goal line responsibility is on the referee here. So let's watch where this goes. They're going to rule a runner down to the 1. Again, this is the referee's responsibility here. And you see the line judge making the call, or headline judge making the call. When you watch the runner, he begins running backward on his own in the field of play. But he's first contacted by the defender and pulled back in the end zone. So this should be a safety. And again, this has to be on the referee to make this call. So just reiterate, since he went backward on his own at the 1, his first contact was behind the goal line, and he's pulled back behind the goal line, mostly because that's where the first contact was by the defender. It should be a safety. So because we've been harping on roughing the quarterback or roughing the passer, let's look at a couple more. First of all, we look at the action right here. This is a hold. His feet are beat, and then he's just going to kind of drag him down. And he drags him right into the quarterback. So since he's blocked into the quarterback, you're going to give some leeway on those defenders. Even this defender right here coming behind is really close to the passer releasing the ball. And he wraps him up, so it's an attempt at a tackle. So that's not a roughing either. I do like to say good job by the deep here. Kind of recognizing that the goal line is going to be the threat. The end line is going to be the threat rather than the goal line. Once he recognizes that, he comes off the goal line in order to get in a position to officiate the end line if he needs to. Which he does here. He's correct to make the call. I would probably like you to wait a little bit longer. Make sure he secures this possession. Because it's just like with a regular catch. Even though it's an interception, he still has to secure the possession, control all the way to the ground and throughout. So I'd probably wait until he does that. I mean, you're right to stop the clock because you're definitely at least gonna have a stop the clock signal. But I would still just wait a little bit longer and make sure he secures that. Now here's another one where The defender is kind of going to be blocked into the quarterback. And so he's just going to throw it into the quarterback right there. Again, that's not a roughing the passer. Defender can't control whether he's been thrown into like that. So again, if we pass on that, good job of passing, because that is not. It looks brutal, but it's not. That's not a roughing the passer. Let's look at the block right here. So let's try to determine whether this defender is lined up head first or in the gap. It's hard to tell from this angle. If he's head up on the guard, then this is an illegal block below the waist. If he's in the gap, it's not illegal. It kind of looks like he's head up. I just say that because it takes the tackle a step or two to get to him, which makes me think he's not head up. But again, it's hard to tell from this angle. So I'm just going to say if he is head up on the guard, this is illegal. If he's in that gap between the guard and the tackle, then it is legal. So we just need to watch that. Maybe umpire kind of take your pre-snap, part of your pre-snap checklist, try to see where they're lined up there. Alright, some weird things happen on this play. Alright, so if you'll notice, we have a non-player in the white, which is bad enough. Also, guys, let's really try not to get beat to the goal line, deeps. We need to be at the goal line waiting on stuff like this. But anyway, so now he's not even in the coach's box. He's out. All right, so a couple things. We got the non-player going on, and now we got possible celebration on the runner here. We want to allow youthful exuberance. So this action kind of flirts with youthful exuberance. So let's look at that first. The dive, maybe you let it go because he did, and there is a defender right there. So at this point, we're kind of borderline. He's going to throw the ball like that. Now we're probably looking at excessive celebration. It's like I said, you're flirting with youthful exuberance to begin with for the dive. You're going to throw the ball in the air like that. Yeah, maybe we want to pop him for that one. A couple things too. There's no reason to have two officials standing at the goal line. The deep official, you should be signaling facing all this. You got mixed colors, and you got a guy who's already flirting with a celebration. So let's already be turned to looking toward him. And then the wing, you're just going to come here, get the ball, kind of clean up all this. No reason to be standing at the pylon stopping the clock. So there's the mechanical issues with that. All right, let's look at this player right here. So we're in the box, and now we're on the field while the ball is still alive. I don't know where he's going, but so we got a flag. This is illegal participation, non-player on the field participating. The penalty is going to be 15 yards from the basic spot. So the touchdown is going to count. You just penalize on either the extra point or the kickoff. Look at the mechanics again on this one. And then a possible hold. Line judge, let's stay off the field. We're too far on the field right now. No reason to be that far on the field. Deeps, we should be back here. We got to keep maintaining a cushion. We can't be getting beat to the goal line like this. I mean, the play finishes downfield from you, out of bounds. That's a bad look. So stay off the field. Let's keep better cushioning. Also, we have a hold right here. Again, we always say watch the feet. What's the feet doing? Feet are beat, and then he's gonna give a little tug there. Probably see it. I think you see it better in the end zone. Over to the right. So he's gonna give a little tug. So we got a hold there. And if our cushioning is better, we're probably in a better position to see that. He's down. This is not a fumble. We're in the proper positioning, referee. I don't really know what more to say about how we missed this. Because once that hand goes down, you see the ball still in his possession, still his control. The hand is down. The hand does not make him down, but the butt does. So yeah, you had the butt down on the ground. So he is down, and then the ball comes out. And there's no beanbag. I don't see anyone. I don't see a beanbag from anyone. So referee, if you have it as a fumble, let's drop a beanbag. But this is not a fumble. He's down, and referee's the only one who can see that. So, but I mean, it happens. It happens quick. We miss things. All right. Short pop up, not pop up kick, but short high kick in the air. So deep, you gotta be looking downfield, looking for a fair catch. You don't get none. We got a muff. Good job there. Well, at least covering who recovers it. However, this is not a beanbag situation. We do not beanbag a muff, free kick, or scrimmage kick. Because remember, the purpose of a beanbag is it's the spot we come back to if there's a penalty. There's no situation where we would come to the spot of a muff on a free or scrimmage kick. So no need for the beanbag. But it is a recovery by K. Now, it's dead where he recovers it. So we should be killing it right there instead of letting it go, which we eventually do. But he cannot advance it once they secure it and possess it. Once they secure control and everything, then you blow it dead. And we have two different spots. If he's getting the spot, he may not be getting the spot, but that's the correct spot. And good job of signaling whose possession it is. Good positioning, but I don't see I don't see a flag here, unless he may have them. No, he doesn't have them around the. He's got his hands in the air, but this can't be face guarding because we don't have face guarding. Possibly early contact, but I don't think the early contact is significant enough to create an unfair advantage because it still hits the receiver in the hand. So I don't see a foul there. If you guys disagree with me, feel free to disagree in the comments. That's what they're for. But I just personally don't see one there. I think we let that one go. So we talk about forward progress. The forward progress would be, let's give him the 49, and then he's driven back. So we start there. We're looking at looking at the line judge. We start there, but then we come off our spot. If you have him down, let's not come off the spot. He's down. So just stay there on your spot. Referee's back there. He can kind of clean up all that. And there's really not much to clean up yet. Just stay on your spot. If something happens and you do have to come off your spot, drop your beanbag and then go clean up what you need to clean up. But we need to stay on the spot a bit longer because you have your head line judge on this side. He's going to have time to come and grab that spot too. So let's just stay on that spot longer. All right, this plays is a little awkward, and there's no great way to officiate it in a crew of 6. So we're gonna have it hit K's helmet right there at the 30. So we have first touching. And then R is going to attempt to field it possibly. It cuts off early, but remember, it is not dead when it hits this K player. It is still alive. So we need to still be back here, continue to officiate it, especially now that he's about to pick it up. We can't just assume he's going to let it die. So we need to be back there to officiate it. As far as a beanbag goes, we have to beanbag that spot. With all this going on back here, I'm kind of inclined to just tell you make a mental note of the spot, which you should have a mental note anyway, of where it hit him. So just take a mental note of that, and then go back later and drop your beanbag if we have to. I don't like throwing beanbags because beanbags are not made to be thrown. It looks bad. This may be a rare situation where you could toss the beanbag in that area, or just maybe toss it to indicate that you have first touching. And then if we need to go back, well, we will need to go back to the 30. But if we need to go back to that spot, we can. Especially in the first touching situation, R's in a spot where they can, it's actually in their benefit to just pick it up and run with it. Because anything that happens, barring a foul, we're going to go back to that spot anyway. So if he picks it up here and muffs it, we got to go back to the first touching spot anyway. So we need to be back there to officiate it in case something like that happens. We got a couple ineligible downfield. This one makes it easy for the umpire. He's standing right behind you. Doesn't get much easier than that. Man, we give him 3 yards. After 3 yards, we pop him. So if he's standing right, if you're 7 yards deep and he's standing next to you, then yeah, it makes it easy for you. Alright, on this one, quarterback's got some time. He's waiting. And then he's just going to toss it. So when we have a throw out of bounds like this, we need to be looking to see if we have any eligible receivers in the area. We have some orange jerseys in the area, but number 54, number 55 are all beyond 3 yards. The closest eligible receiver is right here, number 4. So we definitely have a flag for something. We got to have at least an eligible downfield. And the strong case can be made for intentional grounding. In fact, I think you do have intentional grounding. Now you do see the line judge coming over to talk. So we should be having the intentional grounding discussion right now, but we definitely have a flag from the eligible downfield receivers. And I would flag it. I would flag intentional grounding too. All right, 2 more. Have an interception, so we got to change the possession, and then right here we're going to have a low block. You cannot block below the waist at all and change the possessions. So I can't see if we have a flag there. I'm going to give the crew the benefit of the doubt and say yes. Referee, you might have an angle at that. It's hard to see. You might be looking through bodies, but we got to have something on that. Can't pop the wing too hard for not being downfield because, when we have interceptions this close to the line of scrimmage, we're going to get beat. It's just going to happen. Oh, there you go. Referee did throw it. Good job. So we just need to just hustle, get in the best position you can. But in a situation like that, we're not going to be downfield. We're not going to get downfield and beat those guys. So, all right, we're going to end on this play. Multiple fouls. The low blocks here are fine. Well, yeah, because ball's still in the free blocking zone there. This is fine when you fake to a running back. That running back gets tackled even below the waist. He's not holding anything. Because if you fake to a running back, you gotta get the defense benefit of the doubt. Assume he's gonna be the runner. Do have a hold here though. His feet are beat. He's gonna grab his jersey. And then we have a hold here as well. You can see his feet are beat, and he's just going to keep him wrapped up and drive him out of the play. We flagged that one. So 2 holds there. They only get one of them. Probably going to take the one further back. So, see if we see better angles here. Yeah, see, I just got him grabbed right there. So, we got one of them at least. Alright, that's it for this week. A bit of a longer one because I had a lot to talk about in that first play. But good luck, guys, and be safe.